Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Real Life Solutions with Uncle T. I want to talk to you guys tonight about a young lady who was dating a young man for about 5 years, and she broke it off with him due to insecurity. She was, Lil said she was a little bit immature, but she was jealous and very hot tempered. Gentleman, boyfriend, they broke up. She thought that he was cheating. He was not cheating. He was just picking up a lot of hours at work. And he had plans on that year to ask her hand in marriage. And he was saving up because he wanted to put them both in a new home when he married her. So she broke it off with him, and she started seeing someone else, right? So when she started seeing someone else, this went on for about 6 months. She found a young man who she liked. He did not tell her. She contracted HIV, herpes, and syphilis. And on the top of that, she was pregnant with a child. Crazy, right? I feel sorry for the young lady. This man, I know he doesn't want her back. I mean, who would? I hate to say that in a negative light, but who would want to deal with her being infected like that and something, and then another man's child? And you know this child is going to be born HIV probably. That's a tough situation. These are real life solutions with Uncle T that we talk about, things that people go through and think people walk this kind of walk. And I want to talk to you tonight about rebound relationships, how destructive and how bad a rebound relationship can be whenever you're going through these relationships with people and you have all these unresolved issues with someone else that you did not take care of. Rebound relationships is a rebound situation is when you enter a relationship as a reaction to a previous relationship, right? While you're still contending with issues raised by the past breakup, okay? They usually last about 90 days to a year, most of them. They do have the potential to work long term, but if they don't have a solid foundation, they don't work. We are so quick to want to jump out and get involved in another relationship when we haven't resolved the first relationship. And you see it all the time where people break up, stay single for a month or two. Next thing you know, they dating someone else. And you can't tell me if you dated somebody for 3, 4, 5 years, y'all break up, all of a sudden 60 days later you with someone else. How can you say you was all deep in love with the other person if you spent that much time with them and all of a sudden 60 days later you in the arms with somebody else? I could see if there was some type of DV situation or something like that, I could understand. But to just jump over here, jump over there, jump over here, it seems a little, it just doesn't seem right that, people just jump from one place to another. And there's just no explanation as to why you do so. And I'm just going to give you a stat right here that it takes about 3.5 months to heal when you recover after the divorce. We know that it can take longer. They're talking about after a divorce. I guess that depends on how long you've been married. And it says 3.5 months to recover. I don't think that's to heal and to move on. I just think it takes 3.5 months just to deal with the fact of going through the divorce, signing the paperwork, going through the courts, maybe dividing property, children, child support. And I think after that all happens, it takes about 3.5 months just to decompress, to exhale as to exactly what you've been going through. Studies have shown that it usually takes about a year and a half to fully work out everything you may be holding on to, depending on any, domestic, DV issues. So that's why I understand how people can just jump and go from one ship to another, and they haven't even resolved anything yet. So how do you know if it's time to move on to a new relationship? How do you know if you're in a rebound relationship? How do you know that you need to slow your road and you need to take a look at second thought, and you need to look over your shoulder and say, hey, maybe I'm moving too fast. Maybe I've gotten involved in this thing too quickly. One of the signs that you're not ready, and if you are involved in a rebound relationship, one of the things that you need to understand, that if you are thinking about your ex all the time, you're not ready for a new relationship if you have moved on into a rebound relationship, because that's what it's going to be, a rebound, because you're thinking about your ex all the time. Don't get me wrong. If you've been in a relationship with someone for a long period of time and you guys got a lot of memories, you may have a child together, you was going to start a family or whatnot, and you may think about your ex, because that's natural. It's natural to think about your ex because you do have memories, you do have things that you guys did together. So that's not uncommon for you to think about your ex. But if you are moving on in a new relationship, it's going to prevent you from moving on, and you're not going to be a whole person inside because you're always concentrating on your ex. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the other person. It's not fair for them to think that they have someone who they really enjoy, they really like, they really want to be with, and you secretly want to be with your ex because they don't even know that you're thinking about your ex all the time. And it's not fair to you, because you need to let the person know that, hey, maybe I stepped out there too quickly. Maybe I moved too quickly. Maybe I need to go back and resolve some issues, or maybe you need to go back to resolve some issues, and maybe you guys could work things out. But now you've gotten someone else involved in your life, and that's not good. Another thing, that you may not be ready for a new relationship, but if you have moved on and if you find yourself having problem deleting photos, that may be a problem. A lot of times we go through, just like I said previously, we have memories. You may have went on trips together. You may have had family gatherings, reunions, birthday parties, families get together, family reunions, things of that nature. Or there's family pictures. You may have a child together. True, you may have pictures and photos, but if you have moved on, put the photos on a CD, put the photos on a flash drive, put the photos in the attic, put them under the bed, whatever you need to do. But if you are moving on, and if you are done, and if you are having trouble getting rid of the photos, then you are not ready to move on. I know for a fact that for when I was ready to move forward, when I met my wife, when I met Joycelyn, I didn't care about any photos from any exes or anything. The photos did not mean anything to me, because like I tell people, memories, a lot of time people like to have photos, to look at photos, to hold on to memories. Now, I like photos when it comes to my parents, things of that nature, grandparents. Those are old photos that you may not you can't recover. And you may want to show those to your children or whatnot, grandkids, to show them what great-great-grandmother looked like or whatnot. But when you start dealing with old girlfriends, old boyfriends, all those memories are here. The memories are here in the head. I could care less about memories on a flash drive or anything. But when I met my wife, I didn't have any flash drives. I didn't have any 5x7s. I didn't have any other pictures. Only other pictures I may have had in my past is that people may have taken pictures at family gatherings or church or something like that. They may have pictures, old photos, but my photos, I didn't have a problem throwing them away. Didn't have a problem burning them up, cutting them up, because they didn't mean anything to me anymore. Because once you find that person you want to be with and that person that you love and enjoy, those photos are not going to mean nothing. That's when you know that you are truly free, when you can throw away those photos and they don't mean anything to you. So if you are in a rebound relationship, let's just say if you're in a relationship, a new relationship, and you're still struggling with those photos, you might not be ready to move forward yet because you're holding on to the past. Another thing that you may be dealing with is that you can't cut ties with your ex because you have a problem deleting their phone number. Whenever you have a problem deleting their phone number, you may not be ready to move forward yet. A lot of times that you don't want to lose their phone number because you still have attachment issues. You may find yourself wanting to dial their phone number, hang up the phone so that person can see that you called. Hopefully you're hoping that they call you back, make contact with you, so that you can have some type of relationship or just hear their voice. You may have an ex that want to call you just to hear your voice, just to see how you're doing, just to chat with you, because they're not ready to move forward yet. Don't be the one to move in a new relationship and you be the one still calling your ex, not able to move forward, because having that phone number and having access to that phone number is just an emotional state of your mind. You're never going to move forward. You're never going to close that door in your life if you're always having that phone number available. Another thing is that you want to check up on your ex often. You're not ready to move forward if you're able to or want to check up on your ex often. A lot of times you may see a friend out of the store. They may be saying, hey, I saw John over at the Target store. I saw him at Walmart. And I know y'all ain't together, girl, but he was looking good. He was looking good. And you like, yeah, really? Well, how do he look? He was all right. Yeah. And you telling your girlfriend, yeah, he looked good and he was all right. Looked like he was okay and everything. He wasn't with nobody. He was by himself. And you're like, that's good news to you. He wasn't with nobody, but you already told him, you didn't want to talk to him no more, but you was glad that he wasn't with somebody else. But a lot of times your heart just so full of joy when somebody tell you about your ex, that y'all not together no more. But when somebody tell you about him or her, you just bubbly, you get all bubbled up and just so glad to hear that good news. But if you are done, be done. If it's over, let it be over. Don't be calling up your ex, sending them texts, calling them on the phone, checking up on them, trying to network through friends and see what they doing, see what they up to, because that's not fair to you. If you're trying to move forward, all you're doing is damaging yourself. You're just hurting yourself, and you're also hurting the feelings and emotions of the other person that you're dealing with. The last but least, stay away from social media. Stay off your social media. Stop going on social media trying to look at your ex, trying to look at your friends that you no longer have a relationship with. That's the worst thing to do, because if you're in a relationship with someone else, all it does is start emotional cheating. Basically, you'll start fantasizing, especially if you see him or her, she's with someone else, he's with someone else. You start fantasizing, wishing it was you and him or you and her. You start emotional cheating. You start thinking and reminiscing about old times and things of this nature. So we want to stay away from social media, because all it does is just keep the wound open. If I was to take a knife and cut myself across the chest, and once it starts to heal, if I put sutures or a doctor put staples to put that wound back together, and 3 days later I come and just take the staples out and open the wound back up. That's very painful. That would be very painful. And then they have to stitch it back up again. And then here I go again 2 weeks later, pull it back apart. You know how painful that would be? And that's almost emotionally what we do as a person when we say we want to end these relationships and we open those wounds back up. So if you're going to close the door and move forward, what you need to do is self-care. Meditate. Focus on yourself. Get yourself back in shape or whatnot so that you'll be ready, you'll be active, you'll look good. So whenever you do heal and make yourself whole, you'll look good, you're in shape, you never missed a step. Meditate, eat right, take care of yourself, and just maybe you want to evaluate what went wrong, so that you don't make those same mistakes in a new relationship, right? So if you were too controlling or too demanding, or you were too possessive or jealous, or you was quick-tempered, look at those things and say, could I have been some of those things as to why the relationship didn't work, so that you don't take those same things into a new relationship. So you don't carry old baggage into a relationship, the old baggage over to the new relationship. So you want to work that out so that you can start fresh, have a clean slate, so that everything will work out. But the main thing is that you have to be whole, you have to be healed as a person. And once you're healed and there's nothing in the past for you to go back there to find and resolve, then you can move forward to the new relationship. But if I said anything that made a difference for you in your life, or you have a friend that you like, wow, I got a friend that really needs to hear this, please share, please comment, give me your likes. I really want YouTube to know that I'm putting out some good content, some good educational content that I believe someone can use. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, because this is what we do, Real Life Solutions. I like talking about real stuff. I like to talk about things that people go through in life, that it's good to hear somebody talk about real stuff and give you advice and give you good suggestions as to how to deal with things that you may go through in life. But you guys take care of yourself and love each other. This is Uncle T, and I'll talk to you next time.